Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is an honor to be the presenter in ICT-TPD, International Conference on Education, Teacher Training, and Professional Development. I am Abdul Azis, as the university students from Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. And my paper title is The Effectiveness of Flashcard Learning Media Toward the Ability of Students' Vocabulary Mastery, about greeting and parting expressions of students grade 7 in MTS Karyatul Jihad Bengkulu Tengah academic year 2020-2021. And this is what my paper is looking at. Background: in MTS Karyatul Jihad Bengkulu Tengah, teaching English is still fixated on books and texts. Whereas in learning English vocabulary, the students only see notes in a notebook or printed book. More and more, they memorize the dictionary they have. The use of flashcard media for students hopefully can stimulate the mind and interest of students in order to improve of the recognition skills and also the activities of students' understanding and meaning content. The method of my paper is using classroom action research as a research method to test the learning process in the classroom. And this classroom action research becomes a good method to test the success of a media or teaching technique. And classroom action research should also be the answer for teachers in overcoming various problems encountered in the classroom. Hence, the problem encountered in class is a problem in research. In collecting the data, I have two kinds of data. The first is quantitative data, where researchers use several steps, namely data on the initial test is taken to find out how far the student's ability to know greeting and part expression vocabulary before the treatment is done. The data is taken from the actions of cycle 1 and 2. In precise, the research conducted the research by steps as follows, where the first is pre-test and then treatment, and the last is post-test. For qualitative data, the researcher explained data from various information materials in the forms of observations, interview, and documentation. From this information, the researcher explained it descriptively in the results and discussions which related it to quantitative data in the form of tests done by the students. And result and discussions of this paper is the use of flashcard learning media will be done in the first and while teaching activity. For the first activity, it's doing like the other teachers do in classrooms, but for more specifically, teachers start to ask the students knowledge related to the material that will be given by the teachers. Also, the teachers giving them motivations to learn English more, such as by telling them story or little games. And eventually, the teacher explain the purpose of the teaching material that will be held by the teachers. And whilst activity, the teacher started to use the media flashcard as the steps. The first, the students are given the materials like expressions of greeting and parting with full expressions. And the second step is teacher try to express the expressions clear and loudly in the front of the class, then followed by the students. And the third step, the students are given 10-minute sections to remember the expressions by collaborating with their ear. And the step four, The teacher asked the students' name to come forward and made them to choose the flashcard which is put on the desk by flip. And the steps number 5, the students asked to say the vocabulary by the card that they have to sing with a good intonations and expressions. The teacher gives the reward by giving the applause if the answer was correct for the last pass. And after that, the teacher share the students about the material that they have done, such as some corrections while saying the expressions. Then the teacher asks the students to ask questions that they haven't understood yet related to the material. And the last activity, the teaching process, ended by greeting and talking to the teachers. For the percentage in cycles, you can see low, adequate, good, excellence. For the interval percentages, the test is pre-test, cycle 1 test, and cycle 2 test. Based on this result, from the pre-test to the final test, there was an increase in student learning outcomes using flashcard media. So the use of the flashcard media was effective in teaching vocabulary in the classroom, especially in the expressions vocabulary material of greeting and party for grade 7. From the data showed that using flashcards also can make students become more active, interested, and more motivated in learning English. They felt that flashcard media can make them remember vocabulary better by viewing image on the card or by using this flashcard. And the conclusions, the use of this media, flashcard media, can provide a solutions or alternative for teachers in teaching vocabulary for students. Students become more motivated, creative, and fun in memorizing vocabulary and can also create good situations in the classroom conducively, innovatively, and motivate students to learn vocabulary. Okay, guys, that's all for my research paper. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.